And welcome to my YouTube. I'm Alan Cook, the proud owner of the MiDion painting that you see, which is right here. This is the Mona Lisa, and guess what she is? She's laying down on her left side. There's images in the Mona Lisa that has many of my painting in it. I'm going to pull this away and give you kind of a general look that you're going to see. You're going to see how he's absolutely here, he's here, he's here, anywhere I want. Magic wand. He's everywhere. Because these little micro dots is also a shadowing and a build of his hidden little matrix. Now, the way it goes, if I was to grab and set this right up here like this, you can see that if I lay his face over her eye, his chin, his nose, and everything shadows. If I was to raise it, which I would have to pull this down and raise it at another position, you will see his hand will fit right there in her eye, of her right eye, which is the left eye. Then you will see, when you shift this across, how her hand fits 100% into the stone of the face with the bent finger. Now, this is where it gets somewhat mathematically magnificent. Okay, you can see the knees and the feet that come on down and actually go into the area. You can see how some are more prominent. And I'll show you, I'll show you when I put it back up, if I put it in the right section, because it moves. It looks like I may have to move it. Let me see. Yes, I have to move it again. Right there. You see how the feet fit into the horse and the rider down below? Oops. I'm trying to hold it and get the marker out for you, so it's like you need 3 hands. Right here is his pointy foot, and here's his side foot. Now I'm going to move it. Oops, let's put it on this side for you. And you can see that the pointy foot fits in the design, the pointy foot, and then when the pointy foot, it actually lays over into the lighter of his foot. Then they run crisscross right on up, and that's where one of the areas in which is dominating. Now, look at his hat. Let's see if I got it in the right position. He moves again, and his hat fits in different areas. If you can see the hat. Okay. All right, anyway, you can see the hat. Here's part of the hat. Here's another bigger part of the hat. And here it is again. He moves throughout. So I'm going to show you how the hat fits in perfect right there. You see how it fits perfect in the mountain? I'm just a hair off myself, trying to use two hands to shift this thing. Gives me a little leeway for an amateur as myself. But you can also see that when I go to move this across, he chases her across the room. And I've showed you on my other YouTubes of how the Mona's hands is, and the Mona is in mine, and it's in reverse. My painting is turned clockwise, and the Mona's hands are covering perfectly. If you see the design, covers perfectly into there, and the Mona's up in here. What he did is he hid his paintings, and it's not, again, please understand this, it is not just one image in one area. I believe he could have multi-millions of these. It is more than I can count, because he gets them, again, to start here and to walk across the room. And because you have to follow the line. And what I mean by that is, you see these little dots, how one goes here, one a hair taller, one lower, boom, 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 boom. If you actually seen how small her hand is here, smaller than this particular hand, and it was in this area right here, perfect fit with the bent finger in the mountain. When you blow her up even bigger, she's bigger, her arm comes on down and goes over to these 3, 4 little dots. And these are, each dot has an image in between those dots of her hands. So she starts in the bottom and works her way up and goes across even on an angle. So if you think that the painting only goes this way or goes this way, no, it goes any way you wish it to. Also, if you took my painting and you do this to it, I want to show you if I can do it. Okay, you see how her face is turned? Whoops. See how her face is turned? Doing this kind of quick and odd. Imagine, look at the arrow, how the red arrow is on an angle. Imagine going this way, imagine going like this, or this, or this, and shooting like a rocket. In certain areas of the painting, they're flying. Well, not certain areas. Almost every area. Guy was the master of art of having a blast in cartoons. I don't know if you can see this image, but if you can't, let me do this. This image right here, which is a skull icon. Okay, if you actually look at it, it's like a saucer with diamonds or dots around it, and in another face and smiley people in it waving, and and they're sitting up on top and they're flying across the Mona Lisa. And that's only the top layer. And each one of these dots that make the main cartoon is another micro image of a cartoon of his characters or what he wanted them to be. And then each time you take it and turn it, it changes. See, do you see the teddy bear? Look at an eye, a nose, a mouth. Here's the head. and then it's kind of like a saucer face here, but there's an eye, and a mouth. And if you look right here, it looks like a helicopter with the end, but then there's somebody grabbing the end, and then there's a V pointing. Sometimes they point, but then again, there's a horse and a rider, and they're riding. The guy's having a blast, and so am I. So I want to tell you, God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens. Keep on watching. I'm telling you, give me a thumbs up, please. Pass it on to a friend. You are looking at the most famous painting on the planet, which is the MiDion. It's been lost for almost 600 years. It has his whole life, his whole history. The diary is in there. I got about 60 YouTubes to give you. There's about 150 already up in there. I'm behind, I know. I've had some physical, medical type stuff of tired and whatnot because of my arthritis. And I want to thank my God for people like you liking to learn. Have a good night. Amen.